What's up, y'all? Welcome back. So this week we are going to continue that metal slide guitar idea I came up with last week. Right now we've just got a loose collection of riffs, and I want to actually start putting them in an order and adding some things to them and turning them into an actual song structure. So without further ado, we're just going to dive into the computer here. This is what I came up with last week. You might remember here are our riffs right here. So there's like our verse A section, our verse B section is here. Got a chorus right here. And then we got our little breakdown sort of deal right here. So this is our basic structure right here. And then, oh yeah, we've also got this auxiliary percussion right here. So we got a bunch of ideas there that I can kind of cut up and move around as I see fit. Right away, I want to lock in this verse progression, right? So we're going to drag this back. We're going to take this B section here, kind of move it over. So now we have verse A leading directly into verse B. Now, what I want to do actually is with most of this auxiliary percussion here, especially this stuff down here, these kind of... I feel like those want to be in the more rhythmic section of the song. So we're going to go ahead and move these over to the B section so that they're playing over this part here. So that's a lot better, right? Because this section is kind of more sparse with the... So I would like that percussion section to be a bit more sparse as well. Barring maybe this, I think this we're going to keep right there, this kind of... That's just going to add a little bit of interest to that section. I do want this to carry over there, so we're just going to copy that. I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to take out the main groove here, and I'm going to do something else with this. So you might remember that this section here was this kind of like clap. So I think I'm going to put a slightly different sound in there and record kind of a full groove with it. And we're just going to clean it up real quick. Let's listen to it in context. I do want to layer these claps with something else. Let's see. You do kind of have to wonder when layering sounds if one sound is adding to the other or just overpowering. This one's kind of overpowering. I'm going to get rid of this one here. Just going to put an auto filter on this thing. Let's see if we can try sending it to this reverb send right here. So what I actually want to do is have kind of a quieter version of this A section playing without the guitar and maybe even without the bass too, and just some percussion and some kind of drony sort of pad sort of stuff around it. And then we can kind of lead into when the guitars come in. Okay, this is sounding pretty good. All right, what I'm actually going to do is move these back a little bit. We're going to use these as lead-in. So we got this, right? All right, what I'm actually going to do, convert this to audio, duplicate this track, pitch this down an octave. So now we get this. Sounds much bigger, and this gives us an alternative. So now, when the rhythm guitar kicks in down here, we're gonna have the high claps come in, we're gonna have the low claps cut out. And this is another great way to differentiate sections from one another, kind of create alternative versions of sounds, pitched up or down, different effects, whatever else have you, just to create some kind of variation so that you can definitely tell the sections apart. All right, something else I wanna lay down real quick, some space drone. So I'm gonna get this down real quick because it sounds freaky. All right, I have to stop, but that sounds so cool. You know what I might do? Throw down a saturator, because this sound with the distortion and everything, with kind of like that natural clipping that was happening just then, kind of reminds me of one of those like old obscure internet horror videos, you know? Just the kinds of things that would just make their rounds on like the dark side of YouTube. So I think I'm gonna lean into that kind of feel and give this thing just a little bit more dirt. Okay, that's so creepy. That's awesome. All right. So now we got this whole sort of vibe as the intro here. Okay, so the vibe is definitely coming together. I think what I'm gonna do is take a little break and then come back. And then when I come back, I'm gonna find some type of speech clip that I can distort and muffle and put over top of everything as we lead into the song itself. So I'll come back when I've got that. So we're back, and I've got a few audio clips right here that I'm gonna chop up and throw into the song. They're mainly all just radio noise, honestly, broadcast, number stations, stuff like that, because I'm just really trying to capture that kind of old retro sort of vibe here. But yeah, the number station clips, there's two of these down here. They sound like this. And this one's an actual broadcast with like speech and stuff. I'm gonna see how this one sounds. Very quiet, but it's still got that kind of, I don't know, it's still got a cool feel to it. And there's just some general radio noise up here. Very buzzy, very crackly, very distorted. Let's cut up one of these number station clips. I could probably just loop that for a little bit, honestly. We're just gonna save that for later. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so overall, we got this intro here leading into the verse. So far, this has got a pretty good flow to it, at least throughout the intro and into the verse. Honestly, mainly what I did for each section was kind of give it its own vibe that kind of relates to the sections around it, and then find ways to kind of stitch them together with fills or sounds that kind of have a general swell to them. And that's a great way to kind of add structure to what was originally just a collection of riffs that just sounded kind of similar. So I think that's a good stopping point for today. We've got a general flow going, and I think next week we're going to continue working it. So, yeah, thank you for sticking with me through this video. I appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you like what you saw today, feel free to like the video. If you want to see more in the future, feel free to subscribe and remember to hit the bell. And if you want to see anything in particular, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And with that all being said, y'all take care of yourselves. I'll see you around.